I go Lilia.
Oh wait, that's some.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Louis,
what?
okay. That's also perfect.
Yeah, that's not just space. That's literally the entire map that you could control if you had the Louis in your hand. So
No. Check in with
Welcome
you.
to
How are the
Mobile
drafts looking?
Legends.
What kind of gameplay can we expect in this game too?
I think Redmar put it well. I think Blacklist lineup, they're just gonna, sheer macro push, go for it. And on the flip side, TNC's got to be a little more meticulous. They got to be a little more calculated, I would say. And I want to ask you, man, how do you feel about the Bane? I feel like MP the King's probably one of the few players that does have it and brings it out to play.
Yeah, in addition to me, it's just him and me in the MPL right now. But no, again, I'm on cloud 9. I'm happy to see heroes like Bane break it through because right now
I know how you feel.
there is a triangle of power within the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Nolan, Ling,
Hayabusa.
Fanny. Hayabusa kind of like A minus, you know?
Yeah.
So with Bane coming in, it's obvious that Blacklist have something cooking. Like it's an alternate theory to affect the metagame. But look at this. Wait, this is dangerous.
Whoa,
What?
already? Whoa, MP the King. I'm so sorry, man. There goes the Bane.
No, that's one of the main weaknesses of a Bane, right?
Early game.
He put himself in a position where he could not get out. He's so immobile.
You don't got the sharks yet.
Well, I'm not so sure how that rotation happened without perks.
Yeah.
Or even without. Yeah, no, I don't think OM could have done anything to save him. So yeah, MP's just high off of the action and the win from game 1, I guess.
Yeah, so he's got to kind of. He needs to calculate himself after that first blood already, because obviously that is going to play a part in the first objective, the first turtle when it does come up. He's going to be down a little bit. But one of the great things about Bane, the pick there, is that I would say relatively you farm up at a pretty good pace. Yeah. And then, of course, again, your ultimate is a crucial part of these objective takes. Now, the first turtle is a wash. It's going to be taken for TNC because of what just happened. But so TNC, very similar to what we saw in the previous game, they're going to get control of the early game. And Blacklist knows this. Like, again, if they kind of slow things down, hold on, Haji, going to visit up top with a diversion. This time around, they're going to be able to find Escalera flickers out defensively. So no pickup. But that's the change. I was going to say, Blacklist, they can slow things down like they did previously and then flip the switch. But with a Louis Yi.
I think they should do. Given what happened, first blood on their jungler,
yeah,
and the first turtle going over to TNC, they should slow the game down to the point where they're clearly in control, and wherein these full-on diversions out of nowhere are lethal. Because you saw there in that approach, in that attempt up top, they were short on damage and range. If somebody flickers away and somebody dashes away, look at this lineup. Very few of them can actually close the gap. Yep. Very few of them can actually deal the kind of damage that you want at that range.
Oh, okay, hold on. Perks gonna get dragged and pulled. Flickers out himself. I'm actually surprised he was able to stay alive so far through that. Kazin now, eyes here, penalty zone, gonna be able to find MP the King. He can't escape. Gets crashed down on. Haji, though, will get some payback as he picks up a kill, at least on the board.
That was a jungler for a jungler trade, and that will still put TNC up. And what matters here is the tempo, because as long as TNC can go faster and faster and faster, Blacklist can't reach the point of critical mass wherein, much like in game 1, they're all kitted out, and they can just brute force their way through a win.
So as someone who is an expert with the Bane, I
would say Bane connoisseur.
Bane connoisseur,
yes.
My map. Bane connoisseur. When you have this kind of a start, how do you make sure that you are still valuable to the team in this lineup?
Oh, you just accept the fact that you're going to be farming for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And right now, I think that's what MP the King is getting to. He's on his way to his War Axe, which now he built up. At about 4 minutes, maybe that's slightly behind. 2 kills, 2 deaths in. I think with the way the map looks like right now, they can contest.
Here it is. Deadliest catch, quite deadly. Able to find a pick off of heads too. Starting up, Kazin now joining the fight. They want to battle for the objective. Going to come in. Kazin sweeps on in, retrieves the turtle away. So they're not going to be able to get that, but Blacklist does find a kill amongst it all.
He is down a level, so that does allow for Kazin to just burst in. Lord JM!
Lord JM in trouble. Blacklist trying to make a play up top against Kozin. They won't find it. So TNC still able to find a positive plus the objective.
Oh, look at this, a steal!
Oh,
Kazin does get it! They're starving MP!
So this is the thing, you know, you play around the fact that, hey, you guys do have a diversion, but if it's not successful, there's a clear lack of bodies on the side of the map, especially with how many they send up top.
Yep, again, even if you do leave one out, it's still an inefficient way. Approach is very low.
Again. Diversion going to be used again. Flicker out to survive. Oheb's fine. Haji will pick up 2 kills. But MP the King will strike into Kaizen comes on in and finds an assassination. TNC losing 3 members. There's the flicker. There's the Neuron Blast. They get the stun off. Kaizen trying to get out of the jungle, trying to get out of the danger zone. In between the 2 turrets he goes. How far can Kaizen escape? Heads just around the corner. They go in, he bobs, he weaves, but he gets tossed up. A huge penalty zone, but it's all heads until Lancey gets there in time. Flickers forward, gets the pull off. We'll be able to find Perks as well before heads goes down.
That's an expensive escort mission that Heads put himself on to try and protect Kaizen. But it was close. I think Kaizen was maybe a dash or 2 away from actually getting away with it, scot-free, surviving. But now Escalera spots Oheb, which, by the way, this whole sequence started up here. It started with Oheb with a rope-a-dope, and now they're going to try to punish Escalera. And now that weakness rears its ugly head, their lack of range.
Yep.
Escalera did not need to flicker away, by the way. He just dashed out.
He just dashed out. And that's what you're talking about, the range here. Oheb taking some damage. Has to back off. Perks there now to help him out. How many times have we seen that choreography here up top? You know, the diversion used into the bush.
3rd time this game.
3rd time?
3rd time in 6 minutes.
Oh, man.
So, best believe as long as this turret stands, Blacklist has all the incentive to try it again and again and again. And let's see, one more ballista hit. And, okay, so they have room to do it. But because of that, a push by TNC in mid. That's a main artery. Wow, I think this is a green light for MP to actually, I was going to say ramp up the farm, but
He's doing pretty good.
yeah, all throughout that, he was able to stay in touch with Kaizen's gold lead. No, checks out. Oh!
For the 4th time, Neuron Blast going to find the mark here. Still fighting it out, though. TNC going to lose Kaizen. Oheb gets a kill. Kaizen on the backside. Looking for Haji off of it. Lancey still fine. There's the burst damage. Can he pick up the kill? Haji still alive for now. He won't go down somehow. Oheb does fall as well. Now Heads on the hunt for Lord JM here.
Haji
trying to tank it all with that body of Smith. But does he have enough damage? Escalera there using the conceal. And he pops off the rings here. Lord JM is still alive.
Not just Lord JM, but even Haji. Folks, this exactly is the reason why they call him the KDA machine. His numbers are always through the roof. 5-0 and 3. Joseph, 5-0 and 3 at 8 minutes.
Yeah, he's been a staple so far for the lineup Blacklist International. It's great to see him back in this position.
It's a total of 8, by the way.
That's a lot.
When you calculate for KDA, you just add your assists and your kills divided by your deaths. And spotless so far, the young Salik Imam Haji, the captain of Blacklist International. Looking at TNC, though, given how on a micro scale Blacklist are doing well to recover, TNC are still in control. All tier 1 turrets pushed in.
Yep.
TNC about 1,500 gold ahead for the first time in a while. MP the King able to taste his buffs. Because Kaizen has been crossing the river, man.
Yes.
Kaizen has been living in MP the King's jungle. And I'll tell you now, as a Bane, you always need to be hyper farming. Best case scenario, you're taking your opponent's jungle. Here, he's barely touching his own.
Oh.
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
All right, Lord JM's going to be fine.
Diversion. Ooh. That's
good displacement here, of course.
That's a long lizard bush.
Long lizard. Little push up top. Of course, coming out from Kaizen, and now they're going to force the fight. Heads will flicker around. Zalman Force drop down 2. Lancey pulls 2. They get the nether round. They get the Neuron Blast down. There's the deadliest catch as well. They're trying to focus down Escalera. They'll finally get him. But Kaizen fires back. Gets the double. It's Lord JM on the run. And they have to back off. Now TNC with control of the Lord.
That's a bad trade. They bought high, sold low. 2 for 1. Now Haji sending him back right in the bush.
Oh, Kaizen will get the Lord, though, and now still for the fight. Kaizen goes down. Oheb picks up a double. Him and Haji keeping them together. Head still on the run. Tanky enough.
MV2 strikes again. They turned something worse to bad. Again, it was still a bad trade. We don't take that away from TNC. But Blacklist able to take Kaizen and Kaizen out on the way through. Now they have to accept the fact that they have to defend against the Lord. Joseph, again, this is something that showed itself in the first minute, second minute. MP the King is going to have to sacrifice himself a lot of times.
Yeah.
He's a hero with a lot of burst damage, a lot of consistent CC, but he has to put himself in harm's way. Check out our stat on the Filipino sniper who's locked in on turrets. He's second in all-time turret damage with 3.26 million turret damage dealt in his career in MPL, which started in Season 7.
That's a whole lot of turret damage, you know, for Oheb. And at this point, too, I think he's going to be a pinnacle part for them to go ahead and get this defense. Escalera flickers in, gets his Divine Judgment off, but a whole lot of AoEs thrown at him, cutting him off from the push. Numinal Blast, Deadliest Catch, everything thrown.
Was that or was that not a Divine Judgment on the almost perfect target? Was that an Oheb? It wasn't, right? Because Oheb was like down to a third,
yeah.
And then he just dropped the Z-Force. Oh,
And
wait, what is this? What is this shocking rotation?
All right, I guess they're just taking a visit, see
All
what
right,
they can see.
Just checking. All right, so back to what could have been a devastating approach by TNC. They could have not just killed Oheb.
Yeah.
They could have popped that turret, and they could have won maybe 2 or 3 kills. Even on a trade, that would have been amazing. But Blacklist defended very well. Kudos to Black.
That's what I mean. Like their front, like throw of utility and damage, like you mentioned, Deadliest Catch. Bane himself is like, you got a lot of damage, just throw it out. You know, throw the Deadliest Catch there, and that's something that always stops any lineup in their tracks with this lineup.
For sure, especially since TNC only really have one peeler, one front liner that can actually take it, it being heads.
Think if you're Escalera here, man. If you're a Kaja going into the face of that,
Dude,
I'm close my eyes and hope.
A stray crab claw cannon can kill a random, non-XP or roamer at half health. Like that happens, especially with the kit that MP is building. I think last time we checked in, he was on his way to a brute force breastplate.
Yep.
I wonder what he's at now. I'm guessing maybe a bladed spear or malefic roar. There's no need to malefic roar. Like none of these heroes build armor.
Yeah, and Haji just recently, you can see he picked the Divine Glaive. Oheb now has the Holy Crystal. So in terms of damage, Blacklist is there. Like they're online, they're ready to fight. And so that's why I'm saying, like the challenge here is for TNC to make those adjustments and pick those fights in the best way possible, which is, again, if Escalera, hold on, go away already going to be used. Look at the damage coming out. Deadliest Catch into the Num Blast. Going to force Lancey back. He's trying to get away, trying to peel them off the team. He's going to collapse down. Oheb picks up a kill. Meanwhile, this whole time, Kazin with the Lord secures it in.
All right.
Diversion.
Whoa,
Gonna
whoa,
use.
they find him!
Fight heads, toss them up into the Deadliest Catch again. They pick up a kill.
Heads is rolling and they're not done. Goes in, gets
on
it!
the run, could not get away, and they turn the switch now on Lancey. I set on him. They'll get a double for Oheb. Now Blacklist looks to run it down mid.
That was Lance after he revived. He got the Faramis stacks, came back in, ran his way back into the fight, and still fell. Now, the Lord just spawns from TNC right underneath their base, right underneath their turret. Escalera!
Escalera trying to buy time. Kazin does get back. Immortality into the flicker. Trying to clear out the lanes, and Lancey's back up as well. Heads here too. TNC just barely saves himself from getting swept.
All right, all this while, Kazin stole away the purple from Black, and the pendulum swung. Blacklist now about 1,000 gold ahead at 13 and 45. They send themselves up top, try to clean up the waves, and we're close to deadlock. There's still a lot of turrets standing for TNC, but just leave Oheb, let's leave MP the King, give him like 10 seconds each in a free lane. It should equalize.
It still amazes me how this happens to TNC in almost every series. You know, they have such good control early, mid, even this one, but then something happens here.
It's a snap.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, because, again, Blacklist now have reached, or are approaching critical mass on their damage. Now the diversion, all right, long bush up top. I checked in on MP the King, built Endless Battle, and Malefic Roar. My guess is he built the next best thing to Bladed Spear, because prior to that whole sequence, right? Prior to the whole sequence, he was in his poverty era. He wasn't exactly doing the best job as a main.
Yeah.
Just recently did he get a KDA of 449.
And that's why the thing, like you mentioned this really on point. All he has to do now, or even then, was throw out a deadliest catch.
Or
Like,
even a random crab claw cannon. Just
random cannon.
Just boom.
And that's good enough because of that frontal threat that this lineup has here for Blacklist.
And much.
Oh!
What? What? Diversion play!
Diversion 2, penalty zone gonna collapse down. NetherRealm brought down. Oheb finally taken care of. Out of the picture here.
Heads!
Trying to run heads. Body of Smith not gonna
Goes
be enough to keep him alive. And now Escalera in trouble as well, trying to flap back to base. But here's MP the King as he gets a double.
It's over!
Lancey left to his
It's
wins,
over, Joseph!
but he's get taken out. And Blacklist, with a decisive win, will take the series in a sweep.
Call it a blackout diversion. Blink and you miss it. Blacklist score their first win in Season 14, a sweep against TNC.
Time and time again, diversion after diversion used. The KDA machine, he knew. They knew where to collapse down.